What's up, everyone? We are officially live, and it is September 8th, 2018, the year of our Lord.
Yep.
I've been wanting to say that a lot more lately. Why do people say that?
And I'm gone.
And he's gone. Why do people say in the year of our Lord?
I've never understood it either.
I
don't
mean,
know.
that's a quick Google search away
Yeah.
to figure out why, but I've never been able to figure that one out. But I've wanted to say it a lot more lately.
The year of our Lord.
Yeah,
Does that mean
it means
like
this year? Or
I know
it means
it means
like the current year.
Yeah, I know it means like the current year. Does that mean like?
Just trying to figure out why.
Does it have to do with, because we started counting the years after?
Yeah, like
after the birth of
it's
Jesus.
It's the 2018th year after the birth of Jesus.
Maybe I don't know.
Who knows? That's something we can look up for. We could do more research on that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it's a new week. We're still going strong.
Mm-hmm.
This is episode 5 of this season.
Wow.
So we're like halfway through what we did for season 1.
Yeah.
If you count the lost episode kind of
I
thing.
feel like there's still plenty of gas in the tank left. So
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
we can do a full season.
So
And not lose any episodes this season. So.
we're gonna try our best not to. I feel like I know a lot more about it, so we won't be having potential to lose them as much as we did last year.
Right.
But I'm gonna let you start it off today
Okay.
with whatever you actually have topics this week.
I do,
so.
yeah. I'm not lazy like last week. I mean, I'm still a 4-topic guy right now, but I haven't come up with a plethora.
That's fine.
But
4 is good.
Plethora and Year of Our Lord all used in the same
Yes,
first
exactly,
5 minutes.
Exactly.
So while it's still technically morning, this is a very morning related topic. So I was driving past. Well, I was just driving around town. That's what I do for a living. So, and I drove past we have a lot of these here in the Valley of the Sun. I was driving past one of those, hip like microbrewery places,
Yes.
or gastropub, what
Yes,
have you.
gastropub.
And they had a huge banner, like the size of their building, hanging from the building, saying, well, not like size as in like, it was the width of their building. It wasn't the length, too. It wasn't like a fumigation tent. But they had this ridiculously huge banner on their building so that everybody could see it. They said, now serving breakfast Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay.
And it pissed me off. It's like, if you're going to make a move to serve breakfast, you should do it every day.
I hear you.
Breakfast is not a weekend exclusive thing.
Yeah.
Like, people want breakfast.
People want breakfast
all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it upsets me when places are like, look at us, we're serving breakfast now, but we're only doing it 3 days out of the week.
Yeah,
It's
I hear
like,
you.
just go back to not serving breakfast. Like, we'll take our breakfast money elsewhere.
Yeah. Exactly.
If you're gonna jump,
go all in.
if you're gonna commit,
Go all in. Oh my goodness.
So
That's so funny.
And it's not a huge thing, but it just bothered me. It's like, just do the whole thing, all the time.
Yeah. It's maybe they're like doing like a test thing. Like,
I mean, what do
they
you
don't
expect
trust
from a
themselves
microbrewery?
kind of thing. Exactly.
Like,
Like they might just be lazy and like
probably.
they might not have a fully fleshed out good breakfast menu either. Mm-hmm. It's
then
kind
again,
of a
you don't
bizarre
have to.
thing for a brewery to even have breakfast in the first place.
It is very
That's
strange.
But to have such a large banner to like advertise it,
Yeah.
you'd think like you would say, well, let's put up the banner once we're doing the whole week. Like breakfast
Right.
served every day banner. Mm-hmm. Like, what if it's popular and you want to do it every day?
Yeah.
And your banner just says you have to get a new banner. And that's not cheap.
No, it's not. Well, it's like, and you can't make the excuse of, oh, well, we don't want our staff to come in early every day.
Yeah.
It's like, so you're going to make them stay till 3 in the morning on
Yeah.
Friday and then come in at 7 on
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? Just do it every day.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, that's wild.
And
Are you
there's-
gonna try it? Are you gonna go there and check
Fuck
it out?
no. I don't even remember.
I don't even remember which one it was.
It was the one
Was
where.
it Sun Up?
No. It was the
That's
one.
the only one I could think
It was
of.
the one where their logo is kind of like the head of a phoenix. It's like Sun State.
Oh,
or something.
Santan.
Santan. there we
Santan.
go.
They're trying all kinds of weird stuff. Santan. I'm glad we brought that up because they not only are they a microbrewery, or a local brewery rather, they are moving into the territory of a distillery.
Oh,
and we carry at the restaurant. We carry a lot of their, like they have like a whiskey, a vodka, a tequila. Like
weird.
They went all out. So,
but they can't go all out for breakfast.
But they can't go.
They can't fry. They can't fry an egg on a Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently, that's too hard.
They can't go all out for breakfast.
We've done the research.
See what their menu is.
We've done the research, and it turns out just you can't crack a good egg on a Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Omelets just don't taste as good on Tuesdays, I guess. I don't know.
I'm getting a lot of good comments in the chat about it. Mr. Ryan, who I happen to work with, says he, as a restaurateur, which, Ryan, I hope you don't call yourself that very often. He has a lot of thoughts on this, but he didn't list the thoughts.
I have a lot of thoughts
People
on
are
this.
asking me if our restaurant is going to have it. No, definitely not. I hope not. We'll see. But it's I don't know. I can understand where they're coming from. I would say, why Friday? Like, if you're going to do it, if you're going to have it be limited, I would say just do Saturday, Sunday kind of thing.
Right.
If you're going to limit it to just the weekend. Because I understand that. Like, you're trying to get those people that are out and about on their day off. Mm-hmm. But if it's not busy, or if it's busy enough on Friday, you should be able to do it the whole rest of the week.
Well, in 2018, aren't we kind of in the time where the traditional work week is kind of broken up now?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot more people have weekdays off than they used to.
Big time.
And a lot of people
No one's
work from
working in
home
factories
now,
anymore.
so it's just do it all the time.
Yeah.
Hey,
I think it's definitely like, they thought about it. They were like, should we do it every day? Or, they had to make a decision to.
You know what that does? Makes them look timid. Makes them look weak.
Santan needs to be ballsier.
Yeah.
Get out there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you want to try a beer from a place that can't even commit to a full week of breakfast?
How do I know they're gonna cook the bacon just right?
They're unexperienced.
They're gun shy
Untested.
behind the grill there. So.
Exactly. I mean, I wonder what time they open up anyway. Probably around like noonish. When
We're serving breakfast
like
at noon. They don't even open up or any earlier to serve breakfast.
Yeah.
Just breakfast items during lunch.
Yeah. I mean, do I have any food topics we can talk? We can crush out all the food. I got food last night. This is like a little bit of a story. Mm-hmm. I got food last night, and I was coming home from work. There's like a million places I can go to on my way home, but I'm in Tempe, and I wanted to go to Portillo's. Yeah. And it was open. I didn't know they're open until midnight. Drive-through.
Wow.
Who knew?
See, Santan, that's commitment.
Yeah, exactly. They I don't know if they do breakfast, but
no, probably not.
But I went there. I got my usual. I got the beef and cheddar croissant with sweet peppers.
Would a fried egg be good on an Italian beef sandwich?
It would, but it's like sacrilegious. Like
right.
You eat it and you're like, I shouldn't be.
I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, this is a mistake.
Bin Laden was right. America does need to be destroyed.
Exactly. Like, what's wrong with me? But I got a beef and cheddar croissant with sweet peppers, cheese fries. I tried the lemon cake that they've been hawking, and it was good. It was very good. It was like exactly how you'd imagine it. Nothing more, nothing less. It's just like the chocolate one, only it's lemon flavored.
Okay.
So not
good.
Too big of a shocker on that, but
I'm glad they're consistent.
Yeah. I think it was the first time I've ever gone through the drive-thru at Portillo's, to be honest. Like, I always just go in and sit down. I'm never usually in a hurry or trying to get anywhere when I go to Portillo's. It's usually like after something. And I am in the drive-thru, and there's a guy ahead of me, and I could, when you're in a drive-thru and you're straight, but the person's kind of like turned around the corner, so you can see into their car really well.
Right.
Like, I could tell he's kind of a tool, like glasses, like bad beard, long hair. I'm like, this guy's, probably a tool just by looking at it, because that's how I look at people all day. I just judge them.
Yeah.
Like, that's a tool right there. But then we straighten out, so we're both parallel, and huge vape cloud comes out the window. So I'm like, ding, ding, ding. And then, but I'm like, okay, we just got, particular individual in front of me. Then we're like, it was busy. Portillo's is always busy.
Yeah.
Especially the one in Tempe. So we're waiting in line. There's like people walking to their car into the parking lot. Dude pulls out a Nerf gun and like just sticks it out just enough so the gun is sticking out, and shoots a Nerf dart at these people that are walking. And I'm like, okay, now I'm like, what's this guy's story? Like, what's this guy's deal? And it was like a really nice Nerf gun too. It wasn't like the pump action.
Yeah.
But it was like the best pistol one you could buy. Like, it had really good range.
He shopped Nerf guns to make sure he got the best.
Like, it had like all the mechanics. Like when you shoot those ones, and you could tell there's like really good quality parts on the inside.
Yeah.
And and people are like, who's shooting Nerf darts at me, And like, there's no like laughter coming from the car. Like, I don't know if it's like his sick twisted thing he does.
So, so these people didn't know him.
No, that's what I thought. I was like, oh, he knows these people.
Right.
And he's shooting darts at them because of that. Also, I'm like, me being a kid, like when I was a kid, the first thing I did after I shot a Nerf gun was like, okay, now I need to find that bullet or I'm going to be out of Nerf bullets.
Yeah.
Which is like the worst thing to have, a Nerf gun with no bullets.
Right.
And like, he's just firing them into an empty crowd. And I'm like, also, you don't want to, I know it's a Nerf gun, it's like orange and blue.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be just like,
pulling
out like...
Dude, that's a good way to get yourself shot in the Valley of the Sun.
It is.
People do not tolerate that stuff. This isn't, I don't know, where could I compare it to? I don't know. It's in California.
This isn't Vermont.
Yeah.
You will get shot here. But the dude, like, so I'm like, okay. So now I'm paying attention. Like, I'm like, stop listening to whatever I was listening to. I'm like focused on what's going on here. We pull up another few cars, another like group of people walks out. He fires another one off. I'm like, this guy's reckless. Like, did he like buy a whole package of Nerf bullets, and he's got like a big bag in his car, and he's just loading them up?
Yeah.
Because I wish I had that kind of financial security that I could just fire off a Nerf dart whenever I want.
Yeah, they must. I don't know.
I've never been in that.
I don't remember the price of Nerf bullets, but they probably cost
like
more than they should.
Replacement bullets. Yeah, I'm sure they're charging an arm and fist for that.
Yeah.
Or hand over fist for that.
An
arm and a fist.
Arm and a leg, hand over fist.
Can you buy an arm without a hand on it? Like,
what good is it to you then?
Give me your arm, but you can keep your hand. Like, you just like sew it onto the shoulder again. So we're pulling up, and they're like getting the food out, and the woman takes his card and goes back in. He shoots another one off. And so at this point, he's like shooting a ton off. And then there's someone in the passenger side that I didn't even know was there. They pull out a gun and they shoot one off. And people, like the people in the crowd, are just like, "Who's shooting darts at us?" Like, it was the most
fucking weird.
It was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life.
Well, and like another reason that's particularly dangerous is because now it's become really popular.
Yeah.
With like gun enthusiasts to paint their guns like funky colors.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen people paint their rifles to make them look like they're built out of Legos and stuff. And it's like, so now anything gun shaped is
it's like the CS:GO
is supposed to be considered.
Life.
Yeah, it's considered a real weapon. You don't have the luxury to not consider it a real weapon.
So I was like, I have to talk about this with Jensen tomorrow, because
what a lunatic.
That was not on my plan to
discussion
topics today.
But it was the Portillo's in Tempe. What are you gonna get? It's
another thing I thought, it was like, school's starting back up, and I work with a lot of like high school age kids, so they're playing that Assassin's game. So
that starts earlier and earlier.
I know, they all got the floaties on and stuff. So I'm like, is this a part of that or something? But these guys had to be not much younger than us, I would say.
That's kind of weird.
So they're just driving around town.
There's nothing
eating Portillos and shooting people with Nerf darts.
There's nothing weird about. You can be any age and enjoy a good Nerf fight with your friends. Don't include unknowing bystanders. It's just, it's not. A, you look ridiculous, and B, you look fucking ridiculous. So,
yeah, I don't know, man. I do not know. But I was like, I just got to talk to this guy about this. It was the only food close thing to segue from the breakfast. So
we can segue into another one. Did we talk about the White House or White Castle? White House. We never talk about that. Did we talk about White Castle coming to the Valley last week?
No,
I don't think we mentioned.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah. They're bringing a White
Where?
Castle, Scottsdale,
Of course.
which seems really
Test
dumb.
market.
It
You
seems really
did
dumb
mention that
because
to me.
like White Castle is traditionally not found in higher end parts of town
It's true.
anywhere in the Midwest
It's
or
true.
the East Coast.
Yeah.
It's usually more like middle class to lower income areas. you
Arizona
find a
must
White
be like
Castle.
the place to like test your brand.
It must be. I don't
of
know.
thing.
Well, there's so many transplants here.
Yeah.
So
Big time.
And there's like a wide array of transplants. Like
We did talk about this earlier, like off Chudcast. But I remember because I remember thinking that means we're gonna have every major burger place
Yeah,
in the nation, really.
pretty much.
I can't
We're
think
getting
of
there.
one. After that, I can't think of one that we don't have. That's like really a national or like a regional spanning one. We have In-N-Out, Whataburger, Shake Shack, which is not good. What are other ones? Five Guys,
Yeah, we
like-
got it all, man.
Culver's. You know, we have all these different burger.
Like I thought it was
places
a
now.
huge deal when a Culver's came.
I know,
here.
now
Like,
they're,
I was
like, everywhere.
I know. There's I drive past Culver's I didn't even know existed out here.
Sometimes I feel like Culver's is purposely opening them up like near me, because like they're the most convenient fast food places.
They really
for me.
are.
I always live near one, like on accident. I don't plan it.
The thing
I go golfing, it's like right there.
The thing I like about Culver's is it never seems to be too busy to go to.
Yeah,
Like if you go to an In-N-Out around 12:30, 1 o'clock,
yeah,
you're going to be waiting in line. There's probably not going to be any seats left inside. But like Culver's, it's always just the perfect amount. There's like maybe a dozen people inside. The drive-through moves really quick all the time.
they crank those burgers out there.
It's unbelievable.
Those butter burgers. Culver's.
God, there's one not too far from here.
I had my traditional Chudcast breakfast of a holy shit, I'm bringing up some weird stuff on the computer. I had my traditional Chudcast breakfast of a slice of breakfast pizza from QT and a orange no calorie monster. That's like
Damn.
my past 4 weeks.
Chud fuel.
That's my Chud fuel right there.
Yeah.
That's what keeps me going. That's what keeps the stream going. Shout out to QT. Not a sponsor, but
We won't say no.
Phone is always on.
Yeah.
You know, have my people talk to your people.
I like where this is going.
I kind of want to get to more of like a. I don't want to. I have one more topic that's like similar to these ones, but I kind of want to get to one that's more broad.
Okay. What's her name?
Right.
Zing!
What about?
Where's our soundboard?
How do you feel? And you might not have any feelings at all toward it about the new Eminem album.
Okay.
I'm sure you've heard people at least talking about it.
I'm glad you brought this up because like it actually goes into like one of my
Good.
topics.
Good.
So
We're all about segues here.
I really didn't even know there was a new Eminem album.
It was a surprise album.
Okay. So
You
it wasn't there was no
That's the way
leading up
that
to
people
it.
do it now.
Okay. So anyway, I heard a lot of hype about it. So yesterday when I got home from work, I sat down on the couch and I started listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
I just went YouTube full album and I started listening. The first track was good.
Yeah.
I really like it was a good I felt like it was a good opener for a rap album. Mm-hmm. But then like the second track was kind of off. I got really bored during the second track, so I kind of just stopped listening right there. I didn't get into it much.
Yeah. Yeah.
But who knows? I'll give it another chance. I feel like it's one of those albums. I might have to hear a couple like good singles off of it, and then I'll be able to listen to the full album all the way through.
Yeah.
But,
it's the thing of it is like he came out of nowhere with a new album. Mm-hmm. I've never been a big Eminem fan, even from like back in the day, first
Right.
stuff. You know, I never really liked Eminem that much, and I think he's really good at what he does, and he deserves the praise that he gets. But
Yeah.
like, I feel like, and I want to put this like as lightly as possible. I feel like every white trash person on my Facebook was like, he still got it.
Yeah.
like here we go. And I'm like, I look at it like Kid Rock came out with a new album.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how I look at.
I didn't fuck up the camera, did I?
I don't think
I moved
so.
the chair a little
No,
bit.
you're fine.
Okay,
you're
good.
fine. You know, like I look at it like, what's the big deal? Like he's old.
Yeah.
I was like, it's probably gonna be just him talking crap about. You did move the camera a little bit. but it's fine.
Everything's still in frame.
It's more
though?
on you now, so that's
okay.
probably you did it on purpose. But
yeah,
like he's just gonna talk trash about how rap is nowadays, which is like the most like low hanging fruit thing you can do.
Yeah,
like he's not breaking any molds.
No,
so I'm not that impressed. But people are acting like it's this like revival of his career.
See, that's what I don't understand. Is like
they tend to forget his last 4 albums were total garbage.
Yeah,
you know, and had no hits on them.
Is it like because it was a surprise, everybody really loves it, or is it genuinely good?
He did like put work into it. I feel like
I want to listen to the whole thing. I just haven't gotten around to it.
If you like Eminem, you'll really like it.
Okay.
If you don't like Eminem, you'll still think it's good.
Right.
I think it's good. I just don't think it's like
a game changer.
Yeah, it's it doesn't bring anything new to the table. It's like Coors Light. It's what we always talk about Coors Light. Every commercial is just how cold the beer is,
right?
Which is subjective. Sometimes the beer's cold, sometimes it's not. You can't advertise a product just due to its temperature. It should be about the taste. It's like that, where it's like people are like, he can rap so fast. It's like, who cares? Like
right?
A lot of people can rap really fast.
It's like when you rap really fast, I don't know what you're saying. Yeah. So I really don't. Because
he's one of those guys that's just like, rapping, it's a lyrical, spiritual, miracle, spherical. Like it's like, who cares?
Like the quick rapping is to like rap and hip hop what like breeze are to like deathcore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they're a nice feature from time to time, but if you do nothing but it, it sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
like I don't want to talk too much smack on it, but like Machine Gun Kelly.
It's a segue into my next topic there. We can talk about it.
Okay. So. Good. What are we going to talk about Machine Gun Kelly?
I was just gonna see what you thought about his response.
Okay, good. That's like the main thing I want to talk about.
Right.
I thought he had a really good response.
I'm glad you think so, because I did too. Because I heard his response before I even knew there was a new Eminem album, which is a credit to how fast he got a response out, which is really impressive. And he got a music video made for it and everything. Which, granted, that music video can take 1 day to make. Big time. But people are saying it's like not the greatest work and stuff. But the reason I'm not gonna say I love Rap Devil. The reason I appreciate Rap Devil right now is because for probably the past, on a conservative note, for the past like 5 years, rap has been really boring to me. And Rap Devil, it kind of brings back like the things I like about rap. Is it brings back the attitude and like the anger and stuff. Yeah. And, it's Machine Gun Kelly, arguably like a nobody in the rap, in the rap industry, is talking shit to probably the greatest rapper of all time,
potentially career-ending,
who's still active. Like Eminem can still defend himself. Exactly. You talk shit on Dre, he's not going to come out and diss you on a track.
He doesn't care.
So I like that. That's what makes rap fun, is like the feuding and stuff like that. 100%. So I was really happy. Rap sucks when everybody gets along with each other. It's really bad, because there's nothing to talk about. But I really, it brings back that attitude and that feel that I like, that draws me to rap. So I was really happy with his response.
Yeah, it's I thought it was a great track. I thought he made a lot of really good points, like things I would want him to say.
Yeah,
I've heard some people say like, did they collude though? Like, was it all a big plan to like? Because last time I checked Rap Devil, it had like, I think like 43 million views.
Wow.
Which is a lot.
That is a lot of views for Machine Gun Kelly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it could
like
be...
how many views did Wild Boys have? Probably not.
Probably, like, now it has a lot. But,
that's true.
But in its first, like, 2 weeks, probably not that much, But...
Which, in a side note, that was, like, my last favorite rapper was, like, Waka Flocka Flame.
Exactly.
And it's like, once Waka Flocka Flame fizzled out, I stopped caring about rap, because it was just all, like... Drake, boring. Kendrick Lamar, boring. Like, I don't care about any of these people.
Exactly.
Like, I want the people who like bring some attitude. I don't want to listen to a rap about sneakers all fucking day.
Yeah. So, people are like saying like, well, Machine Gun Kelly has like no career and stuff, and it's like it's a little guy punching up, instead of the big guy punching down for some reason. even though he's just an old guy. You know,
that'd probably be the best move Eminem could make is to do nothing.
Yeah,
exactly. It would be like his best move.
Yeah,
just do nothing. Then it makes Machine Gun Kelly look like an idiot.
If he makes any response,
Machine Gun Kelly
wins. If he makes no response, Eminem wins. But I think it's a good song. Another thing though is that it has really good production for the track. Like they have a good beat.
Yeah,
which it's done by
Rap Devil does have a really good.
It's
beat
done by a prominent beat maker. You know the what's his name? I know them all by like their like, you know that like, take Keith, fuck these niggas up, you know, like or like what's another one? Like they all have that like little shout out at the beginning of a song.
Okay, yeah.
It's like by who made the beats, you know. So I think I don't know. The industry was like on MGK's side on that one.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, yeah, I've actually listened to it a couple times. Like, which really, if somebody says there's like a good rap song out, I'll listen to it once and I'll never listen to it again. But no, I've gone out of my way to listen to this song a few times. Yeah. The attitude is so good. I mean,
he's got poise.
Yeah, I mean, like the flow isn't fantastic, and some of the rhymes and the lyrics aren't amazing. But it's like it's like attitude's like 80% of it. Yeah. You know, and he has the right feel for the song.
So. The part where he's like, "We're both single dads from the Midwest. Let's talk about it." I was like, "That's spot on," because they are similar. Mm-hmm. Like, Eminem
my favorite part of that chorus is like, "You're rich and you're still mad. Let's talk." Like, it's a good point, you know?
Exactly.
Why are you so mad?
And I mean, like your beard is weird. Like people are talking shit on that. I'm like, that's just funny. Like,
it is kind of. You shouldn't have opened with that.
Exactly. I feel like it burnt. Like people that were going in thinking they were going to be on Eminem's side already. Yeah. They were like, "This is lame," you know. But I think he made a lot of good point. Like Eminem needs to realize that if he doesn't like Machine Gun Kelly is like a carbon copy of Eminem.
You know, he really is.
Like he is trying to be Eminem.
Plagiarism.
Exactly. It's blatant plagiarism.
Yeah.
They came from basically the same part of the country.
Yeah.
They're both white rappers. Mm-hmm. It's like MGK, Yellow Wolf, even like terrible ones like G-Eazy, who's like awful. Like these guys are all just copying the mold that Eminem set for white rappers.
God damn, this might be too sensitive of a topic, but like,
lay it on me. Let's do it. I'm ready.
Was overdosing Mac Miller's way of staying out of this feud? He's like, I don't want to be part of the white rapper feud. I'm out.
I can one up you on that. I said the most terrible joke. It was like, I saw it on Instagram that happened yesterday. Mm-hmm. Rest in peace, Mac Miller, okay?
But he had like 2 good songs.
At the same time, I don't know any of his songs. I considered him like a college rapper.
Yes.
And who cares about that? You know, that's like a frat boy rapper.
The way I explained it to Ben is the people I knew who liked Mac Miller were the same people that would not shut up about Tech Nine in high school. So I do not appreciate their opinion on music. So
it's
Tech Nine sucks. There, I said it. It's on the record. I fucking hate Tech Nine.
Exactly. It's it was literally like, and then I was like, I went on Google to confirm it, and the story that was posted, it was like 13 minutes later.
Wow.
I walk into my kitchen at work, and I'm like, "Hey guys, Mac Miller died," and everyone's like, "What? Like, you gotta be kidding me!" I'm like, "Yeah, but at least his career died before he did." Like, all were like, "Fuck you! Like, that's terrible. Don't say that." I'm sorry, Kamikaze Kid is a Mac Miller fan. I apologize, Mon Frere, but he's just not for me.
And I had he
talks like he has marbles in his mouth.
And I had a moment of panic when I first heard that Mac Miller died because I didn't see like an article with like a thumbnail picture. Someone just posted like, "Oh my God, Mac Miller died. Rest in peace." And like, I was like confused for a second. I was like, "Fucking Macklemore died."
I was gonna say Von Miller died.
So I was like, Ryan Miller's dead.
Ryan Miller's dead.
So it's like, oh God, no. But we're good.
I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Oh no, I thought he said, "How dare you?" And I thought he was talking about Mac Miller. He's like, "How dare you about Tech Nine?"
Tech Nine's garbage.
You gotta be kidding me, Kamikaze
I've never
Kid.
liked the Tech Nine.
Kamikaze Kid's hitting us with those off opinions lately.
He is. I appreciate it.
I know. Yeah.
This
that
podcast
dichotomy.
is such like a yes man
It
podcast.
is. We think the same way. We don't even talk about. You guys have to realize, like, we don't even talk about these topics before we go into the Chudcast. We just like happen to agree on everything. But
it's true.
I know that you're a Facebook man, and that the MGK video was probably plastered all over your Facebook.
Yes.
So I knew you would know something about it. You know, but the biggest thing for me is, like, I listened to the new... Before I knew that he was even dissing anyone on the album, before any of that, I listened to the songs. I didn't understand the hype. And I saw a great meme that, like, encompassed how I feel. And you know the meme where it's, like, the guy with his girlfriend and he's, like, looking at that other girl?
Yeah, the I'd rather have that
it's
sort
that,
of thing.
and the other girl, like, the hot girl, it says, like, new Eminem. And then both people are looking the opposite direction. Like, the guy and... I'll show it to you on my phone, but the guy and the girlfriend are both looking the complete opposite way. It just shows the backs of their heads.
That's
and
really
I was like,
good.
yes, that is exactly how I feel about it.
It's
kind
just
of thing.
like, I don't know. Like other people, I liked Eminem during the whole Slim Shady thing when he first broke out because he was different, he was new, and it's just the past. I feel like since like 2008, 2010 area is kind of when he became more serious.
Yeah,
and I just don't like. It just doesn't work for me, man. You know, it's just,
I hear you.
It's just his, no pun intended, but like all the songs are just very vanilla now, you know? Yeah, that is pretty
I
funny.
wonder if that should show up there. But yeah.
It's just, so I don't know. I feel like among people who really like rap music, they liked Eminem post Slim Shady. That's when they really started to like him, the whole like Rap God era and stuff, but I don't know, man. I just like what's the beef between Eminem and MGK? Like,
I don't know what
someone probably said.
I have no
something.
idea even what he like. Apparently, like in Rap Devil, he says like a diss I made in 2012. So he must have said some like, "Move over, Eminem. I'm the new white rapper," or something. You know, that's like a tip. That sounds like an MGK line,
right?
And Eminem probably festered on it in his mansion for 8 years.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, I'm going to talk about it on this."
Like, didn't he release an album between this one and
released
then?
several albums.
So why did he wait?
He's
so
released
long?
like one album a year.
Why did he wait so long?
Like this whole time, and that's the thing is no one's just heard about it. It says that Kamikaze Kid says he's trying too hard to be taken seriously. I still see him as that guy who dresses like Marilyn Manson and raps about eating mushrooms. I think he's talking about Tech Nine. I don't know. I don't know who he's talking about there. I like said it like it was gonna be like a really good topic, and I didn't read it first, so I kind of just went in blind.
But like, I don't know. I appreciate the vibe that, you know, the new Eminem album. Not so much like with the release of the new Eminem album, and then like MGK's response to it. I like the vibe it's putting out there.
The blood flow.
It's making me interested in rap. Whereas like before this, it was, you know, like rap was just all about either like swag or something dumb, or like then you get all the SoundCloud rap, which is basically like emo for black people, but really white people like it, like they like emo music.
Exactly.
So it's yawn, you know. I like, you know. The biggest, like the first rapper I ever liked was Eminem because he was white and funny, you know. But
he brought something new to the table.
When I really started to like rap music, you know, I'm old fashioned. Like NWA is what got me to like rap, because I liked the attitude of it. You know, I liked
100%.
It's not that I liked what they were saying, but I liked how they said it. You know, so that's kind of where I'm at with this Rap Devil thing. Is I like the way he's presenting himself.
Have you seen the album art for the new Eminem album? It's called Kamikaze.
Isn't it just like the Beastie Boys cover?
He straight up ripped off the Beastie Boys cover. You know, and I don't really like that.
What, are
much.
like 2 out of 3 of them dead now? So
yeah,
like,
I know.
they
It's
can't
like
really
well, they're not going to defend themselves. You know, they're not going to come out with.
I think only one of them's dead, isn't it?
No, only one. The one with the wild voice is dead. Or no, okay. The one with the what's it? It's MC Ren. Is that what his name is?
No, that's from NWA.
Is it It's the guy that has like the. I'm trying to think of like one line from a song. But it's the guy with the more like, and it's not the, yeah. It's not that guy.
Eating macaroni. Like,
it's not that guy. He's still alive. Oh my god. All right, let's move on. I'm glad you had some stuff to say about that one, because it was.
Eventually, I just want to get like a guest on.
Yeah.
So I like someone who has their ear to the ground on like modern country music, so I can have like this same discussion about country music. We'll have to get someone on. You know who we should get on for a discussion like that? We can almost do it as like a segment. So I want Matt Salazar on here, because he talks mad shit on country music,
Salazar.
And it's like I'm sure I could show him country songs.
He doesn't seem like he knows that much about music. A lot of depth in music, in my opinion. I wouldn't trust his opinion. Calling you out.
If you're out there, Sal.
Calling you out. We got 2 cameras. I'm calling you out on both cameras. That kind of, actually, interestingly enough, segues into, I kind of wanted to talk about country music a little bit.
Shit.
But
I'm your guy.
It's a topic I should have researched more. I planned on researching more, like when I first wrote it down. But it's about Country Roads by John Denver. That song
is fantastic.
It is a great song, but people treat it like it's this like legendary country song, where like when it first came out, like Nashville people hated it.
Nashville people hated John Denver.
They straight up hated him. People don't realize that today.
They didn't like John Denver because he was like kind of a weird guy, and he was really folky, and like he liked to joke around a lot and stuff. He was just like he
wasn't like a good old boy.
He was a true artist. He was like zany and weird and stuff. You know, he was like an Andy Warhol of country music.
So since the Fallout trailer came out, that song's kind of got like a revival, and
it's kind of like annoying when people are like, "Have you ever heard the song Country Roads?" And it's like, yeah, I heard it before the Fallout 76
trailer. It's been a great
trailer.
song forever, you know? But it has come back
similar to Brandy from Guardians of the Galaxy 2, when people are like, "Brandy" by Looking Glass, but like, yeah, I've heard that song 150 times before I saw the movie. You know,
people are just the tree just goes, "Take me home," like in all caps in the chat. It's a great song, and it's a great country song, but people think of it as like everyone loved it back in the day when it came out, when like I think it won like country song of the year at the Grammys that year, and people were like, they wanted to burn down the whole Grammys.
I think people liked it. I don't think the Nashville scene,
the higher ups at Nashville, did
because
not
they didn't have a handle on
it.
They didn't have their hand. You know, I'm glad we're talking about this because I can go on right now.
Nashville has always been fucked up.
Yeah, so it's like
people think it's just
like
nowadays.
Nashville didn't like Hank Williams.
Yeah,
like he wasn't allowed to perform at the Grand Ole Opry. You know, it's ridiculous. Nashville sucks.
There's so much politics in Nashville when it comes to country music.
But no, yeah, like. Yeah, in Nashville, Country Roads wasn't like a revered song. No. It wasn't.
The reason it came up.
I'm trying to think like around that time who they were like parading around in Nashville at the time, but I can't really think of it, so I don't know, because that song probably came out late 70s.
I think so. Maybe
and it's like so it wasn't
Junior.
It wasn't like Waylon Jennings, because I hated Waylon Jennings in Nashville. It wasn't Willie Nelson. He didn't really like.
He was kind of out of there by then.
He was kind of he wasn't huge in.
It was probably just like straight up like still Dolly Parton.
Probably.
Like, they're probably like relying on a lot of 60s stuff, kind of thing. That's kind of like been played out at that time.
Yeah,
I would only assume, or stuff we don't, maybe like Hank too.
Maybe, but like I think I don't know. Like,
even him, they drove him out, I think, toward the end.
He's still more of like I think his rise came in the early 80s.
Yeah. So. That's a good point. You can tell by like the way, like when in your head you imagine a picture of them, that's how you could date it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You can tell the difference between an 80s picture and a 70s picture. Or like the way their hair is and like the amount of glitter that's going on.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
But it's like, I'm glad we're talking about this. Because I can go on.
Yeah, no, because it came up on my shuffle, and it was like, I want to talk to Jensen about that. But I also wanted to, like, dig deeper and maybe get some clips and stuff, so I didn't really get the full. But people were not happy about it when he won Song of the Year for it. And but nowadays, it's like it's all forgotten. and it's considered like.
I think Nashville didn't like John Denver. I don't think they found him because of just the way he acted. You know, he just wasn't politically savvy in Nashville. But also I think it was because they viewed him more of a folk artist. Like he wasn't like a country purist. Mm-hmm. I think is why they didn't really appreciate him. Like he didn't have like a whole lot of steel guitar work.
Yeah.
You know, fiddles were few and far between. So I think that might have been why, but
he didn't look the part. He had like glasses and that, like straight hair.
Yeah, he looked ridiculous. But that was just part of his thing. You know, that was just his persona. But like the reason I'm glad we brought that up is because I turned on Spotify, and anybody who knows Spotify, you know, it plays mostly the artists that you look up, and it'll sprinkle in like artists that are similar to them. Well, the other day, and this is like the only time I've ever done this because I own all his albums, so I usually don't have to play them on Spotify. But I went to the Chris Stapleton Spotify.
Best guy around right now.
Yeah, and
highly regarded.
And I was like sick to my stomach because usually, like I said, Spotify plays primarily the artists you search, which every other song was a Chris Stapleton song, which feels like too few.
Yeah.
And all like the songs in between were things like Luke Bryan, Blake Shelton. It's like fucking Nashville. Like even a guy who has a traditional country sound and is just happening to get big because people like that. That's what people want. Nashville can't keep their fucking claws out of them. You know, like now they're like, all right, he's popular. We got to get our guys to ride his popularity, even though they don't even make the same music.
It's got to be like one of the most frustrating genres to be a fan of because
it's very frustrating. It's hard to be a fan of country music.
When you work at Spotify, they're not thinking of like how different that is.
No.
Like how different those two artists are.
Yeah.
Because I get that too. Like I'll put like I'm trying to think. I'll get a lot of like hardcore bands that I don't like in like my shuffle, and like they don't sound similar or I'll get a ton.
It's like you put on Kubla Khan and then they put on like Beartooth in there. It's like, oh fuck, get this shit away from me.
Or like, God forbid you look up, because I use YouTube Music, which is even more dangerous, I think, for the search kind of aspect of it. Because whenever you look up a new music video, you go on YouTube and search it. Well, it takes that data and it thinks like, well, this is the kind of music you like. But how many times have you looked at a music video just to see the music video? Maybe even to even talk shit on the music video.
A lot.
You know what I mean? So I end up getting all that stuff. Like, you know how many times like there's this you would hate it. There's this Nicki Minaj song called Fifi with 6ix9ine, the guy with the rainbow colored hair, the SoundCloud rapper. And I looked it up just to hate on the video, and now I hear it every day. And I'm starting to like the song. No.
And it's just and that's like very similar. Is all these people are becoming popular on such a smaller platform like SoundCloud, and now like the big rap conglomerate, they're all just like putting their claws into them, being like, don't pass me up, you know, like
exactly.
I'm here.
I'm still relevant.
Yeah, so it's frustrating, you know, because if you take somebody and you play them a Chris Stapleton song and then you play them a Luke Bryan song, they'd be like, these two things are not the same. They're very different. Yet for some reason, you know, people like, you know, Jason Aldean and Blake Shelton, for some reason they're allowed to call themselves country music, which I don't understand why they're not just pop. And it's it is a very hard genre to be a fan of because you tell people like, oh, I like country, and they're like, oh, me too.
You like Luke Bryan.
Do you like Jason Aldean? It's like, no, get that shit away from me. Like Jason Aldean is a fucking fake. They just find these like. I want to know where they find these people at.
It should be like the music that's tied closest with like the common man, and it's so like so far away from that.
It totally is
becoming so suburban.
Or like when I tell people I like country music, and they're like, "Oh, do you go to Country Thunder?" I'll be like, "No, I don't like Justin Bieber concerts. I'm not going to go to work.
I have work. I have a job. That's what country music is supposed to be about. It's like getting in your truck early in the morning, going to work every goddamn day. That's what it's supposed to be about. Getting up before the sun does. Going to work.
And it's just, I don't know. It's so bastardized now, and Which I can bring up a conspiracy theory about this.
I'm down. Let's go.
About
Let's
country
go.
music. Well, not so much about country music, about Blake Shelton. My family has heard me say this time and time again, but I'm saying it for all the viewers of the Chudcast, all 4 of you. Blake Shelton's accent's fucking
There's 5
fake.
right now.
Fake. Blake Shelton's accent is fake. That's not a genuine accent. And people have called me out of it. Like my parents, they're like, "That's a real accent. He's from Oklahoma." I was like, I've met so many people from Oklahoma that don't speak like that.
Some of them do though. The Okie,
I know, but
those
like,
Okies.
I've met like a dozen people from Oklahoma, and none of them sound like Blake Shelton. Like they just talk like normal people. And they're like, well, why would he develop a fake accent? And I'm like, these record labels have image groups, right? Like they find out what people want to see and hear, and they're like, all right, now you gotta look like this, you gotta talk like this, you gotta sound like this. You just take all these people and turn them into fucking robots, and that's what Blake Shelton is. He's a country music robot maker. That's what he is.
It's right now with streaming just happening. Like there's a lot of bugs still to be kinked out of it. I think it's cool that they come up because I always was listening, like even in MP3 player days, I always listened to my whole library on shuffle anyway. So I've always been into a shuffle kind of mood, but
yeah,
it is pretty frustrating when you want to hear a certain artist or a certain sound or vibe and they don't procure it. They don't have enough human
What
beings
I should
working
do,
with that.
what I should do is I should find out. I need to look and see what. I think it might be because of the record label that Chris Stapleton's on. I need to see if it's a huge like Nashville record label, and that's why the other like Nashville artists are coming up. Because I'll listen to like Sturgill Simpson on Spotify, and I don't get all that fake country music. It plays him and then like artists who are genuinely like him.
I feel like Sturgill Simpson, didn't he get a Grammy?
Yeah, I mean he pretty much has the same criteria as Chris Stapleton.
Exactly.
Like he's won a Grammy for Best Country Album. Granted, he doesn't have the following that Chris Stapleton does. Like Sturgill's still somewhat like he's between small time and like big time. He's like right there in the middle.
I feel like I've been agreeing with the Grammys a lot lately. Like
really,
I feel like every time like picking those guys out of everyone. That's like
it's like 3 years in a row. I think it went Chris Stapleton, then it went Sturgill Simpson, and then I think Jason Isbell won.
That
a Grammy.
Sturgill Simpson album that won.
That one's phenomenal.
It's like a journey listening to it.
It's
like
a really good album.
It's like an odyssey. I love it. It's a great album. So I feel like they're getting recognized.
I think the problem is just like maybe I think Chris Stapleton might be a little too friendly to Nashville. That might be the issue. Is he's like more willing to buddy up with them, so that might be why. Like he's more passive about, like all these fake country artists, whereas like Sturgill Simpson's very outspoken against them. Like at the Country Music Awards, like Sturgill Simpson doesn't even get invited.
Yeah,
like they don't let him in. So like that's why he goes like and stands out front and plays music for free.
Exactly.
Well, like they don't even invite him. That's a joke.
It's cool to have that like more outlaw kind of thing going on though. So I kind of like it at the same time.
It is.
Like it's like I'm mad about it, but I like it. Like I like that I'm mad about it.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Because it all goes all the way back to the first Hank Williams. Where it's like you get these. It's like you can't make these stump jumpers famous and expect them to behave
right.
Like
I mean, I was like
take
reading
the boy
about
out of
Hank.
The swamp. You can't take the swamp out of the boy.
Like Hank Williams, I'm pretty sure he dropped out of school to play country music, and when he was starting out, he had to play behind like the famous like chicken wire stages, and it's like that's just cool, man.
Yeah,
that's cool shit.
Yeah. Do I have any other music stuff?
I don't think I do.
I had like I wanted to talk about like tone. So that's kind of like music-esque. And I don't really want to spend too much time on it. But I was watching, I go down the YouTube rabbit hole a lot. And I ended up watching a Vice documentary about juggalos. And they're at the gathering of the juggalos. All right. And halfway through watching it, I realized like and it's not like I didn't like blow this up. Like it's not like I discovered something. Like it's very obvious, but they control the tone so much in their documentaries like Vice to make it seem like the world is this like vacant, ambient place where like nothing is inherently good and people like shouldn't enjoy things. Like the people at the gathering of the Juggalo are having like the time of their lives, and they put this like sad music or like this like hollow music that makes you feel like it's sad that they think that this is fun kind of tone.
That's kind of fucked up.
You gotta watch it to like. I want to see how you feel about it, but like, I just feel like the tone when they filmed it was probably so upbeat, and like everyone was probably having such a great time, and like the people all probably got treated so well, and like
the Juggalos are like, contrary to popular belief, like Juggalos are. It seems like they're a very. It's said that they're a very like accepting group, and like they're very like fun to be upbeat, around and stuff.
You know, so like you could tell they were like, how can we swing this to make it seem like it's sad that they live this life, or like that they're weird for living this life, you know? And it made me realize like every documentary I've ever seen is like that for everything, not just Vice, but Vice does a I feel like a hit job on a lot of like subcultures.
Yeah, that's
where it's like, it made me realize like Vice is supposed to be like this subculture thing, but it's really just taking stabs at all these like little guys.
Yeah.
For just having a good time out in the middle of nowhere, not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
So like it just really like struck me. I'm like, huh.
Well, it's like
I don't like that tone.
We've kind of talked about this before. It's like Vice is probably in that like, not saying they're like they could be from there, but they kind of fit in that whole internet elitist like Silicon Valley thing. And it's like if you're not you know a hip tech, if you're not like a hip techie, then they're gonna think your lifestyle like. They're going to feel bad for you that you're not living the way they do. So it's just an elitist thing, you know?
It's I don't know. I saw a meme the other day and it was like, isn't Vice just BuzzFeed too? And I'm like,
pretty much.
Yeah. I can see that. It's like
it's the same thing.
It caters to the same like generation, you know, and it's just like a different type of people in that generation.
Yeah.
But it's basically the same thing.
Right.
You know, so I didn't really have too much to say about it. I just felt bad for these Juggalos.
I'm down for taking a stab at Vice, though.
Yeah, I felt bad for these Juggalos that were like genuinely having a great time, and it was like a good message. Like it was about like Juggalettes like respecting themselves more and like having more say in like decisions and stuff. So I'm like, it should be like a puff piece, I think.
Yeah,
but it is what it is, you know. I have an etiquette over easy.
Good.
This week.
I'm glad you did.
This is like the first time I've ever come up with one on my own.
Spread your wings and fly.
You know, I was at the restaurant, minding my own business. Guy walks in, on the phone. Goes to the host stand, still on the phone. Doesn't say a word or like look at the host, just expects to be sat. People have no phone etiquette anymore.
Nope.
And it made me think like there's so many things about phones, and as a society we don't even use phones that much anymore, but it seems like every time someone makes a phone call they break like every phone etiquette rule ever.
It's true.
I was talking about it with my old man. It's like when you're on the phone or like you're in a group of people, you get a phone call, hey guys, I'm gonna walk away for a second.
I always go outside when I'm on the phone.
Exactly.
I leave whatever
no one
building
wants to
I'm
hear
in.
You on the phone. Like it's not that it's not private. No one can understand what you're talking about. It's just you don't want to talk in front of everyone.
The reason why is because a conversation you're having in person, people can eavesdrop on it and understand what you're talking about. When you're on the phone, they only hear a conversation with one person speaking.
Yeah.
So it's like it's unpleasant to the ears to hear it.
Yeah.
So you should leave.
Exactly.
You know?
And I found that there's like a ton of different pet peeves I have about people in public on their phones, but I feel like the one that I hate the most is when someone has their phone on speakerphone and is talking to it like this.
Yes.
And you can hear every word they're saying, and the
so
other
annoying.
people are saying, and it's like, why? Why don't you just have it like this? And they're just yelling on speakerphone, like walking around, sitting down somewhere. I feel like that is what frustrates me the most, is like the sound. Even when people like play music out of their phone, like in public, it's like the sound of those speakers being pushed to the max on a phone is like gut wrenching. I hate it.
I hate when people are on the phone and they're trying to have two conversations at once. Like you look like an idiot if you're trying to have two conversations at once with two people there. Like, you look even. It's so rude.
No one will ever be like, if you're talking on the phone and you're like, oh, hold on a second, the waiter's here to take my order. And you put your phone down for a second. No one that's on the phone on the other line is ever going to be like, dude, what the fuck? Why'd you stop talking to me for a split second?
Yeah.
I don't get it. And like I said, it's a text message era right now. Mm-hmm. People don't even talk on their phone that much anymore, but every time they do, they're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
My little brother's in the Marines, and a Marine in uniform they're not allowed to walk and be on the phone at the same time.
Okay.
Anytime they use the phone, they have to stand still. And that's even deeper into it. I think you could walk around and be on the phone.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. But I think we figured it out.
I'm like, that's how deep it goes, though. Like, in their prime etiquette mode, he's not even allowed to walk around, be seen in uniform, walking and talking on the phone at the same time, because it's considered.
That's why you carry a duster with you at all times, and you put your duster on when you're going to walk and talk at the same time.
Exactly.
So no one sees your uniform.
Yeah, Tree says, I hate when people use phones while walking and don't pay attention. Big time.
Yeah. That could even go into not just even talking. It's just most of the time when they're walking and they're being obstructions, it's because they're looking at their
staring at their phone. So phone etiquette in general, we got to maybe not make these etiquette over easies too broad. We got to stretch them out because we're going to run out eventually. But I want to make a little
We'll just start making up etiquette that isn't genuine.
New rules. Follow this, all the followers, they have to succumb to it.
Yep.
Kind of thing. Oh my goodness, that'd be so funny.
It's like, man, it's bullshit when people make a grilled cheese and then they go to cut it in half and they use a knife. It's just use the spatula you're already using to make the grilled cheese.
That's actually a good one, really. You can cut it in the pan.
It makes sense, but it's not etiquette, though.
I love that one, honestly. I think that's great. Oh my god.
Well, because if you use a knife, you're not hurting anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, unless you're
dirtying
unless you're me and my fiance does all the dishes, so it's just an unnecessary dish.
That's so funny. Kamikaze Kid says, let's hope this is a good one this time. I was on a Greyhound bus not too long ago, and it was 5:30 in the morning, and most passengers were asleep, and this one dude had the loudest phone call ever, woke a ton of people up. Yeah, what an ass.
Everybody should just come together and be like, get off your fucking phone. What are you thinking?
There needs to be a mob mentality more often.
Yeah.
It's usually the few. Mind. The few is usually bothering the many in almost any of these etiquette situations.
It's true.
So it goes a long way if you call someone out when they don't put their cart in the right place after they're done shopping.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need to make a little segment intro for when it's etiquette over easy.
Yeah, we do. We need more segments.
We should film some segment intros soon. I could edit them up. That'd be a lot of fun. I hate when Bay doesn't do the dishes right. Do you mean when they don't do them correctly, or are you am I right?
I hate when Bay doesn't do the dishes right.
Hashtag relatable. I had the most. This is getting back to what we were talking about earlier, kind of or similar topics, where we just witnessed something.
Yeah.
I saw the most Cave Creek thing I've ever seen, because I'm back in Cave Creek now working, and I'm realizing that it is a lot different than what I'm used to. A lot of the customers are a lot different, and I was walking into work, so it didn't happen in the restaurant, but I was walking into work, and I witnessed the most Cave Creek occurrence ever, and it was a group of adults around probably in their 40s, every one of them. They were all paired off, so it was a bunch of couples, and they were all. At first I thought they were having a shouting match at each other, and it was right in between the beauty salon and the restaurant, and I was walking up, and I'm are these people mad at each other? What's going on here? But the closer I got, I realized they were just firmly talking with each other. No one was really raising their voice, but no one was every once in a while cracking a joke and everyone laughing. That wasn't happening. It was a very firm conversation.
Yeah.
And I get into the restaurant and I'm like, have you guys seen what's going on up there? Like, what's going on? And they're like, well, some of the people were eating here and then other people showed up and they all looked like they came from different spots. And I came to the conclusion they're all the parents of a shitty friend group. And one of the kids probably got like busted for drugs or something, and they're trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like
my Lord.
they're trying to figure out who's at fault and get the whole story
kid,
together.
Whose kid brought the drugs into the group?
And you know, like the one's like, it's your kid's fault because you don't ever watch him, and like they'll be like, well, your kid's over at my place all the time, like.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the most Cave Creek thing I've ever seen.
That is very
because it's a town where there's a bunch of like kids that think they're tough. Mm-hmm. And the parents are all like normal, probably hard work, like worked hard to live out there their whole life, and they didn't have to think they would ever deal with this kind of shit.
Yeah.
And like I was like, this is like a Norman Rockwell painting of like there was like a couple of them were like nurses, like in their scrubs, like they all came from like work to meet at this spot. To like you could tell they were like talking about something that it was like, well, it's not my kid's fault, it's your kid's fault. Like
right.
It was a total like Breakfast Club situation.
And that's another thing, another very like Cave Creek thing is there's a lot of like parents out there that act like children, you know?
Exactly.
Like cuz it's a very child thing to do to like go to the other parents and figure out which one of them's at to blame. Exactly. Which one's to blame. It's like you discipline your kid in your house like my father never would have done that. He would have just wrangled the problem together at home. Exactly. He would have been like, this is where
take care of your house.
I don't care if this is where it started. This is where it fucking ends.
Exactly.
You know. So like, that's another thing is like a lot of adults in Cave Creek like to play the blame game all the time.
This kid's a bad influence on my kid. And it's like,
yeah, your kid's shitty too. Guess what? They're all shitty.
You know, so like
you're letting Fortnite raise your kids. What else do you want? You know.
Yeah, exactly. So like. When I saw it, I was like, "Oh, I gotta tell Jensen about that," because
it's
one of those things that you don't think about until you actually see it. Mm-hmm. Like, and it like kind of brought me back into high school because we went to high school with kids that were like that.
Yeah,
and I feel like Tone, my little brother's friend group was very like that. Like, who's the problem kid?
Yeah,
you know,
and they all were,
you know. So that's what made me think about it. I'm like, man, I've never felt like more in Cave Creek than I do right now.
That was such a weird thing about. I don't know if it was just like our town or like the kids we went to school with, or if it was like those kids who are kind of like middle class to upper middle class. I don't know what it was, but like in high school, it just seems like all of our peers made life so much harder for themselves than it needed to be.
No one ever
Whereas like you and I, you, me and Alex, we had like the longest leashes.
Exactly.
Everyone's like, how come you get to do all? How come you don't have a curfew? And it's like. Because we don't make our lives hard for ourselves, you know. Like
as long as they didn't have to, like, as soon as I could drive, it was. I had no. The only reason they would ever ask like where I was is because they would have to pick me up.
Yeah,
you know that's all that really mattered. But my whole life, our parents let us do whatever we want. We got in all kinds of trouble. Like we didn't get in all kinds of trouble. No. We were allowed to, you know, have fun.
Well, it's because
hang out with each other and.
Well, it's because like. You know, some kids would do some really dumb stuff. Like, not even, like, really dumb, like, it's a big issue. But it was like, oh, yeah, I stole some booze from my dad and then snuck out when he said I couldn't. And it's like, well, now you're wondering why life's hard? Yeah, that's why.
They couldn't figure out consequences.
No, it's like...
And how, like, if you behave... If your parents respect you and trust you, you can do anything.
Yeah, it's true. We got away with so much shit. And it's just because, like... And it's like, even when we did dumb shit, and my parents asked about it, I would just tell them, like, yeah, that's what we did.
Straight out.
Yeah,
this is what happened.
Yeah.
We didn't hide anything from our parents.
It was to any of the younger viewers, that is the easiest way to have freedom in your teenage years, is to just, your parents know. If they call you on your bullshit, own up to it. It's like accountability that we were talking about last week.
Exactly.
And it's like, you and Alex, we never had curfews. We never had to check in. You know, it was unbelievable. I can't believe, like, with some of the kids we went to high school, like, it seemed unreal that we were able to do shit that they weren't. Exactly. I felt like we were completely different, like, we were, like, a completely different, what's the word I'm looking for?
Echelon?
Maybe. Like, class.
Class,
you know?
yeah.
Like, we felt like we were in a different class. Like, we felt like we were upper class and they were, like, slaves.
Yeah.
You know? It was amazing.
literally, I feel like our parents installed in us at a very young age, like, you have consequences for your actions in a good way or a bad way.
Yeah.
You know, and my parents, like, and you'd think, because we're both the oldest.
Yeah.
And so is Alex. You'd think that we would be the ones that got in trouble the most and had to, like, the most restrictions, or, like, they, like, would baby us the most. And none of our parents did any of that stuff.
No.
It was all, like, because our parents remember what it was like when they were young. Like, my parents, your parents, Alex's dad, like, they were kids too, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, I feel like they got into probably some trouble back in the day too, but no one ever, like, died or anything.
Exactly.
Like, no one, like, nothing ever terrible happened. And, like, they're very, like, my mom loved our talk about accountability. Because she thinks it's, like, she doesn't see it anymore either, and, like, the workforce. And she wanted to talk about, and, like, it's a long topic that's similar to that, but she wanted to talk about being proactive versus being reactive.
Yeah, it's true.
And, like, they always were proactive with me.
It's true. It really is.
That's,
Well,
like, my mindset,
I think
too.
Where we grew up in Cave Creek, you know what I think what, like, a huge problem was? Because we saw a lot of, like, parents that were trying to be like their kids, you know? Like,
Yes.
didn't want to give up being a kid.
Yeah.
It's because, like, growing up, our parents weren't like, hey, we're your friends.
Exactly.
You know, we're your parents. Like, shit goes wrong, like, you're going to have to answer to us.
Exactly.
You know? Whereas, like, all of our other, not all of our other friends, but, like, a lot of our peers, like, their parents were, like, trying to be the cool parents and stuff. And then they wonder why their kids are shitty.
Yeah.
You know?
Straight up. Like, I was leaving the bank yesterday, and a little girl, like, you know, the bank has the room with the ATM in it, outside and then inside the bank.
Like the little, like, foyer.
Yeah, there was, like, a little girl, probably, like, 4 years old tops. Like, her mom must have been dealing with a teller, and she, like, ran into the foyer. And the mom came out, and I was, like, just happened to be leaving at the same time, and the mom was like, you know, don't ever do that again, or someone could take you, and you'll never see anyone, you'll never see your family again. And it's like, that's what my parents used to say to me. You know, like, you're just gone. You'll just be gone, and we'll never see you again. And I was like, well, fuck, I gotta, you know, I don't want that to happen. This is where the food comes from.
Exactly. I'm glad we talked about like, instilling things into children.
Yeah.
Because that's actually one of my topics.
There you go.
So
we've had, like, the best segues.
This is a very fluid
Well, I told
show.
myself today, I was like, I gotta stop being like, well, what's the next topic? And, like,
yeah, we got to get away from
because
that.
I was thinking of all the podcasts I watch. I'm like, they never do that.
No,
They
kind of just go into
segue into the. So I'm like, we got to.
They probably also do a lot more, like, show prep.
They
which
do a
we
lot
don't.
more prep. We don't do any prep.
This is all from the hip. Right
we set up and that's it.
now.
Yeah.
But so this is like most of my topics. This is anecdotal. This is something I've witnessed, observed, if you will. So I was I work in a truck.
Yes.
Large truck is what I use for work. And I was in a parking lot, making my delivery. And my truck has a lift gate on it. You know, for anybody who doesn't know, it's a platform that comes down. You put stuff onto the platform. It lifts it up to where the truck is, and you put it into the truck.
Yeah.
And walking through the parking lot was a mother with two girls who were roughly the same age.
Okay.
Like, they could have been twins for all I know, but it
Yeah.
was like in the 4 to 6 age group, you know, pretty young girls. And so I was on my lift gate. The mom was, like, kind of distracted too.
Yeah.
You know, she was, like, you know, trying to get them out of the car and to wherever the hell they're going. And so I'm going up my lift gate, and one of the little girls is, like, eyes wide open, like, pointing at my lift gate, like almost giggling.
Yeah.
Like, she's interested in it for some reason. And
fascinated.
she asked her mom, she's like, her mom's not even paying attention to her. And she asked her mom, what's that? Or like, what's that for? And then the mom's like, oh, it's so he can get heavy things from the ground up to his truck. And the little girl goes, like bricks? And then the mom's like, yeah, sure, whatever. And, like, kind of, like, brushed her off. And, like, it's like, you know, your child is taking interest in something at a young age. Like,
That
why
could be
not,
an
like, why not
opportunity.
ask her more questions
That's an
about,
opportunity.
you know, because her mom said it's so she can get, or so he can get heavy things from the ground up to his truck. And she like instantly thought of a heavy thing. Like, could it work with this too? Like your child is trying to problem solve.
She's
right
figuring
now.
out the world.
And yet the mom is paying more attention to this other little girl who's just spewing garbage out of her mouth. Like, I painted a pony and it was pink and its name is Carl because boys can like pink too. And like the mom's like paying attention to this idiot that's just talking nonsense. And it's like this other little girl is like observing the world.
Yeah.
And it's like
The dumb one always gets more attention.
I know. Parents should really seize these opportunities to...
That is a total missed opportunity.
To, like, you know, to just kind of instill, like, how the world works.
Those kids
with
end up
children.
so smart.
I know.
I feel like every time...
I couldn't believe it. This little girl, like, took an interest in something that, like, I don't even like. You know, that isn't even interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Like, people that we know that have kids that ask a lot of questions, I feel like... And whenever they, like, patiently explain it to them, I feel like the kid always ends up being really smart.
Yeah.
Because the kid knows everything by the time they go to actual school.
Right.
They don't teach lift gates at school, you know? And her reacting that way makes the kid, like...
Oh, I shouldn't ask things
even
ever
subconsciously, maybe you're not even conscious of it, be like, well, that's a dumb question. I
shouldn't ask questions anymore.
Like that anymore. I should know that already.
Yeah.
You know? And
like, it broke my heart that the mom was paying more attention to, like, the dumb kid. That was just like...
You're like... We never lift bricks with this shit. What are you talking about? I haven't lifted a single brick with this fucking thing.
It's like, but it just, you know, it like kind of broke my heart because, you know, if the mom would have showed more of an interest in it, 'cause what I wanted to do is I wanted to be like, here, come over, like work the levers, you know, like make it go up and down.
It's like,
you know, I wanted to feed off of her curiosity for something, you know.
Yeah.
For the way something's done.
It adds more faith to the world, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, I mean, what would you say? Like, she's taking an interest in physics? She's like, bricks are heavy. I can't lift many bricks, but that thing can.
That robot
so I'm
can.
interested in it, you know? And it's just...
That's a damn shame.
And, like, the mom was, like, totally just brushed her off. Like, that's a very, like, dumb question for a little girl to ask.
I feel like...
it's like, you know, I'm sure you could picture the mom, like short shorts that aren't very short. They're still kind of long above the knees. Like a Starbucks in one hand, way too big of a purse on the other arm.
What was the haircut like?
It wasn't even like, she just had long hair, but it was like put up, but like not in a ponytail and like kind of that like little bun thing.
Gotcha.
In the back,
Gotcha.
You know?
I was thinking like short
big,
hair,
big
highlights.
Sunglasses, just not giving a shit.
I wish I was still 21 years old.
Exactly. You know? Yeah. These kids ruined my life.
I peaked in high school.
These kids ruined my youth.
These kids ruined my life. Exactly. Yeah. Like, and you know, we don't spend the whole day with the kid, so maybe the kid is really annoying with the questions sometimes.
Could be.
But like, maybe it just leads to constant questioning. But so I give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, maybe it's an exhausting life being a parent like that. We don't know. We don't have kids.
I didn't realize how long we were doing this until I looked at the movie and saw what part it was at. And I'm like, this movie's almost over.
Yeah, right. So it's... Tree says, sit down and educate yo kids.
Yeah.
And she said, yo, Y-O. And Dream Squeeze is which... For Jensen, you're not familiar with the Pain Train 12 lore. Dream Squeeze is like a day one. Like, she's been with me forever. Mm-hmm. And she is the 12th kid in her family.
Holy
and the youngest.
Shit. That's unreal.
My God.
You basically weren't even raised by your parents. You were just raised by the other kids.
Yeah, so she said that her mom always paid attention to the more bratty kids. But yeah, it's you know, take that time to inspire a kid. Let the kid be curious. Let a kid be a kid.
Yeah.
Think about times when you got shot down when you wanted to know something. And it's discouraging. My baby cousin is the cutest. She asks questions and is curious. I love her to death. That's awesome. I was totally raised by the other kids, yes. Dream Squeeze says.
Well, it's like once your parents hit kid like number 4, you start grooming the older ones. Be like, listen, we can't fucking do this shit anymore.
Exactly.
We're way too fucking tired.
Exactly.
Like, it's up to you guys to raise your siblings.
Yeah, straight up.
Like we gotta make sure there's still a roof here for you guys, so like you raise each other.
Exactly. That's why you have that many kids.
Yeah, it's either to work the farm or to raise the other kids.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm cleaned out.
I got
Lay it on
another
me.
little anecdotal thing I can go into.
Let's do it.
It's like an anecdotal tale with like a lesson where like I think things should be a certain way.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go out there and say, like I'm gonna start with what I think. I think every bathroom, like I'm more specifically where the toilet is.
Yeah.
That room should just be customary to have a dimmer switch in that room because
I'm interested to see where this goes.
I don't get woken up at night very often to go take a piss. I have a big enough bladder where I can hold it till the morning. I don't get uncomfortable. But the other night, like I must have drank a lot of water. Mm-hmm. So I got woken up because I had to go take a piss. And so I walk into the bathroom and, you know, I didn't want to turn the light on because it would have blinded me. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I can piss in the dark. I'm pretty good at this.
Dark
you know?
pissing.
So
Thing a lot of us guys do.
So I start pissing and I hear that I'm hitting the bowl.
Yeah.
When you hear you're hitting the bowl, you know, you aim down.
Exactly.
Hit the water.
Hit the
water.
water.
The water is the sweet spot.
Exactly.
Well, it turns out I was hitting the bowl on the other side of the water.
No
and
way.
so when I went down, I started pissing
Piss on your feet?
No, I was pissing on the rim of the bowl, and I got like so it splashed everywhere,
Yeah.
and piss got all over my
It's like
legs.
pissing into a brick wall.
Yeah, there was piss all over my legs
I
and
hear
my
you.
feet, and it was like if I just had like a dim light in here, that would give me enough. Like
Yeah.
enough light just to see where I'm aiming,
Yeah.
but doesn't hurt my eyes, I would be in good shape. So it's like, why doesn't that should just be a thing? Every
Like,
bathroom should just have a dim light in
Why
it
do
somewhere.
bathrooms? Why are the lights so bright in the bathroom anyway?
I don't know.
I guess like when you're like a lot of bathrooms have the mirror in it for when you're like getting
Yeah.
ready, so maybe you want that vanity mirror kind of lighting. Mm-hmm. But I think a dimmer switch in any bathroom would be really nice. I don't think I've ever taken like at someone's house, like gone into their bathroom and like the lighting is dim. That'd be kind of nice.
Actually, at my my grandmother's house, like
Yeah.
for some reason, like the main use bathroom, you know, the common bathroom,
Yeah.
the lights are very dim in that room, and it is kind of nice. It's a very relaxing experience to go in there and use the bathroom.
There you go.
It's like I could
There
get
you go.
used to this. I could do more of this.
Or like you light a candle and you burn your house down. Like
Yeah.
it's tough.
Or even remember those
You get a
infomercials?
pissing flashlight
Yeah.
that you aim it down the sights.
No, it's just taped to my junk.
your junk.
Tactical flashlight for taking.
We
a
can
piss.
make that. We could patent that. it's got a retina scanner on it. It's got like all kinds of stuff going
We can
on.
patent it, and that's as far as it gets. Never takes.
We'll never make a prototype of that. As you can see, one size fits all.
But yeah, or like even remember those infomercials for those little lights that you kind of like, they're like the size of a hockey puck. You can put them anywhere and you just like tap it and
Yes.
the light turns on.
Yeah.
Like even one of those would have been so helpful.
You have like a little like cabinet above your toilet too. You can
That'd
put
be a
that on
perfect
there.
place
Boom.
for a light.
Yeah.
Under it, you know, whoop, and it would have worked great. But I don't know. It's just
That's what you got to do for every toilet you like have now. You got to keep that in mind.
I do.
For
I don't want that to
nighttime
happen
pissing.
ever again because like
Yeah.
because then I had to clean all the piss off of my legs before I went back to sleep. You know.
Yeah.
Or I could.
All right, but really, I just went back to sleep.
Which is what I should
I
have
let
done.
the blanket soak up all the piss.
Which that's what I should have done because they would have drove Sarah nuts if I would have told her that's what happened.
Sarah's his fiance, by the way. Oh my god, that's so funny.
I would have drove
I
her
pissed
crazy.
on myself.
I pissed on myself and then came back to bed and then cuddled with you.
Yeah, exactly. Why are you wet? I pissed on myself. You got to do that now, and that's your homework for the next Chudcast there.
See how that goes over.
I feel like I always just turn the light on and deal with the burning light in
Yeah.
my eyes.
I
don't-
can't take it.
My
too
dad
much
is
for
a
me.
dark pisser. Almost every time he goes to use the restroom, he doesn't turn the light on.
That's crazy.
And I don't know how he does it. I'll be like, I remember being when I lived in the house, I would like go to take a piss, and he would be in there taking a piss already, and I would be like, because it's pitch black in the whole house, and you just hear him, and I'm like, oh, like.
You know what might...
And then I'd scare the shit out of him when he came out, because I'm like in the hallway standing there.
You know what would be like a good idea is like get some kind of like little plastic ball that like glows in the dark and drop it in the water of the toilet. But then you're gonna end up flushing it at some point. Maybe if there's like, you know, those little star things you put up on your ceiling when you're a kid that glow in the dark. Maybe like find a way to pop one of those onto the toilet.
Yeah. Or you could put them on like the lid, so it's like you just have to get it in that center.
Because like you don't have to see your junk to aim. You just have to see what you're aiming at.
Exactly.
And your hand-eye coordination will take care of it.
Exactly.
Hand-eye dick coordination. It'll come full triangle to figure out where the piss goes.
Yeah, I hear you.
Where does the piss go?
The chat is getting kind of like odd. Someone says period cramps are way worse than piss on your legs. I would hope so.
Yeah,
I would hope so.
I didn't say it hurt. I just said it sucked.
I didn't say it hurt. I just said it was inconvenient.
And I don't think period cramps can be solved by a light.
No, there's no lights that can fix that. Oh my goodness. But yeah, it's maybe you should just make sure everywhere you go you have a light. Some kind of light. A pissing flashlight is what I would recommend. Where you have it on your nightstand, you're like, I'm getting the flashlight out. Back in the day, people would get like the candle, like you could get one of those, like a little just candlestick.
Yeah, but then I got to wear like a robe to bed and like the stocking cap, and then, like have a pair of slippers by
after
the
you're done
bedside.
pissing, the Ghost of Christmas Past comes out.
Hear a bunch of chains clanking in the other room.
Ebenezer.
Or like a headlamp would be nice. Just pop my little headlamp on real quick. Because that's really the only thing is I just don't want the light in my eyes. That's or like I don't know, bring sunglasses with me when I go to take a piss. Put my sunglasses on and then flip the lights on. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
Unscrew all the light bulbs except for one in your bathroom.
There is only one light bulb in that bathroom.
Put a dimmer switch on the switch.
I've gotta.
I'm
trying to keep the Chudcast going to where it ends at the same time that the movie ends.
I'm running empty, man.
Quick, does anybody know what this movie is? I'm trying to see.
Definitely not. I don't think they haven't been able to guess a single movie that's been going on in the background in any of
We've done 3.
In any of our Chudcasts here at
the
this
first
place.
one was Raising Arizona. Second one was Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
Yes.
If anybody can guess this one.
No one will be able to get this one.
If anybody can guess it in the next, or hell, even if you go back and rewatch it, I don't care. I'll give something away.
I'm gonna zoom just into that.
I'll give something away. I don't give a shit.
But yeah.
I'll give you a flashlight to take with you to the bathroom. Flashlight and sunglasses.
Chazar says that he brings up a good point, but he doesn't, like, I got an idea from the statement he made. He says that one time he had to pee in the night, and he wasn't fully awake, and he peed in the bathtub. So that's kind of a good idea, though. Because it's hard to miss the bathtub.
That's true.
If you just piss in the bathtub, you can,
all right, so I got another story because he brought that up. I don't know if my sister will appreciate me telling this story.
Sorry, Jenna, click away now.
She has like no shame. she stands by everything she's ever done. So.
All right.
But anyway, when we were kids,
Kamikaze Kid got it. Captain Ron.
I gotta give him something.
He's got it. We'll send you a T-shirt, Kamikaze Kid.
Yes.
What size shirt do you wear? And give me your address and your.
I am very impressed, Captain Ron.
I know that's
one of my favorites. It's like one of the most. I think it's one of the most underrated, underappreciated comedies of all time.
That is a deep cut right there. I am very impressed.
Yeah, but anyway, so when I was a kid, probably around 10 or 11, I was up playing with a friend at my house, and my sister comes walking out of her room. She had been asleep because it's like midnight,
Yeah.
And she's a few years younger than me. She's, I think, 5 years younger than me. So she was probably like 5, 6, somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. And well, she had a tendency of sleepwalking, which we later found out.
Yeah.
I didn't know this. I didn't know she was sleepwalking. I thought she was awake. Well, she comes walking down the hallway. I'm like, oh, hey, how's it going? And she didn't answer me. She just blank stare on her face. And she walks into the laundry room, and we had a big 5-gallon bucket of laundry detergent in there. Pops the lid off, sits down, takes a piss inside all the like powdered laundry detergent, ruined all of it. And I was like panicking. I was like, Mom, Dad, she's ruined. It's like, she's peeing in the bucket. Like, I was freaking out, which I shouldn't have. I should have been laughing because that was hilarious. And, like, my parents come running out like
she's defiling the soap.
Like, something's terribly wrong. And, like, that's when we found out she was sleepwalking. Like, that she was a sleepwalker. So that I feel like that kind of tops accidentally peeing in the bathtub.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I can't do the bathtub thing either because if I am in that situation where I'm, like, not all there yet, my bathtub is a shower combo, and it has, like, a clear glass.
I didn't even think about that.
Clear glass piece there, so I'll just end up pissing all over that clear glass.
Door's probably open. Pissing right in the glass.
Gets all over my legs again, and then I just go crawl back into bed, and that's it.
Yeah, I'll have to send you a T-shirt somehow, Kamikaze Kid. I'll work on that. That way you can spread the word. First generation of T-shirts, too. It's going to be worth something one day. Because it's not worth anything today, that's for damn sure.
No. Not at all. Oh, man, I'm out of water.
He says, Kamikaze says maybe piss in the sink.
See, I've done that. I like pissing in the sink.
Yeah.
It's
you save water that way.
Mm-hmm. It was kind of funny. I went to a delivery, and I went to this. It was a metal shop. You know, a bunch of guys working with machining equipment and shit. And it was like, the bathrooms in those places are never nice. They're very thrown together. Mm-hmm. So there were like 2 urinals in there, a shitter, and that was like it.
Yeah.
And I walked in there to use the pisser, and this was a big shop, so there was a lot of people working there. There was people pissing at the urinals and in the shitter, and then there was a guy pissing in the sink. Like,
Why the fuck not, you know?
I walked into the bathroom, there's some dudes in there pissing in the sink.
Not? Like, that place should have a trough.
I know. Like, they do need a trough.
You know? They could metalwork one, too. Yeah, they could make their own.
Yeah.
The trough is the best thing to piss.
I think pissing in a sink is a very overlooked convenience for males.
It is,
because it's
easy.
It's a very good last resort.
We have it very lucky.
Which usually, like, if there's a scenario where I can't use the restroom because it's being used, I don't go. My first thought isn't the sink. It's, can I go outside and nobody will see me pissing in their backyard? That's usually my thing. I'm more prone to piss outside than I am to piss in the sink.
I just said we're gonna change the name of my fan base to Sink Pissers.
Sink Pissers
instead. I've been calling them conductors.
The conductors,
because it's Pain Train.
Yeah.
So they're the conductors. Also, it's like a double meaning because it's like a train conductor or like a symphony conductor.
Oh, okay.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Like they guide me. You know. So that's what, or in like conduits for short.
Yeah. Or, you know, like an electricity conductor keeps the
exactly. They keep the flow going. Exactly.
Keeps it charged.
It's a great.
Don't change
term.
It from conductors to
sink pissers. I don't know. Let's get a vote in the chat for sink pissers or conductors.
I don't think you'll have a lot of people sticking around if they have to refer to themselves as a sink
Kamikaze
pisser.
says X in the chat for sink pissers. And I'm getting a lot of X's right. I'm gonna put one in there too.
All right. Sink pissers it is.
We'll have 2 names.
Okay.
That's like the informal name. That's for the Chudcast fans.
The sink pissers are the Chudcast viewers.
They have time to piss in some sinks, you know?
Yeah.
Because Dream Squeeze said, I pissed in she's a girl.
Yeah.
I peed in the sink once. I was very, very drunk. Awesome. Dream Squeeze says, she put an X in the chat and she goes, I'm just kidding. Like,
can't take it back.
You're a sink pisser, Dream Squeeze.
You can't take back the X.
No, the X in the chat is like the most respected thing we do. X for respect in the chat. We made it through the whole movie, Jensen.
We did.
Please don't DMCA us, Captain Ron, owners, Buena Vista Pictures distribution. don't DMCA me, please. Not kidding about the sink. I didn't think you were, Dream Squeeze. Don't worry about that. But I mean, that's all I've got for this week, my friend.
I'm all good, man.
It was an hour and 30 we hit today.
Wow. And you know, all the football fans rejoice. Football's back this week.
Football's back. We got college football all day today. And
people say that football started on Thursday. That game never fucking counts.
That game was boring.
I heard it was a good game.
I thought it was boring. It was a lot of field goals. Boring.
I like defensive games, so like. Guy at my work said I probably would have liked it, but I don't know. But it's Thursday night. I hate watching football on Thursday nights.
I hear you.
It sucks.
It's a forced thing.
It's
a forced thing to do. it's supposed to be high school football on Friday, college football on Saturday, professional football on Sunday. That's the way it goes.
Yep, it's true.
And then you get the Monday night football game, which takes a pass.
Yeah.
But yeah, tune in next week. I feel like Saturday has been like the day.
Yeah,
You know,
it's been really
lately.
good.
It keeps my like week in a nice like. You know,
You have, like,
I
a
could look
start and
forward
end
to
to
it all
your
week.
week.
Yeah, exactly. I could look forward to it all week. Like Saturday is my best day off every week, kind of thing. But yeah, like thank you guys for tuning in. We had a lot of people watching, or like 8 at some points at a time. So
Damn, we hit the big time.
yeah, I know. Get in quick. You know, you guys are on the ground floor of something big here. But thanks for tuning on in, and we will be seeing you guys next week, and you guys will be seeing me on my normal streams either later today or tomorrow for sure. But thank you guys, and we'll see you.
Thank you.